Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now we're not only seeing Ethereum retest previous resistance, we are also now seeing Bitcoin retest previous important resistance to potentially flip it into new support, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still within the much larger multi-month long bullish trend, as I've been saying since the beginning of this year. But obviously more recently we do have a larger bearish divergence here on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, because we have confirmed higher highs in the price in the candle closes while also confirming lower highs in the RSI. And so what this basically means is that technically we're still within the larger bullish trend, but for now, in the somewhat shorter term, we have lost some bullish momentum in this trend. And so essentially, we should not be expecting massive bullish movements like what we saw earlier in the trend, at least in the shorter term, while this bearish divergence is currently playing out. But in order to invalidate the larger bullish trend and basically confirm a trend reversal into a larger bearish trend, we would need to break below around 25,000 approximately with confirmation, like for example 4-day candle closes or ideally weekly candle closes well below 25k in order to reverse the super trend indicator from green back to red. And also if we confirm a break well below 25k, that would also confirm a new significant lower low below the low that we saw back in early June. And so once again, at least as of right now, we're technically still within the larger bullish trend. It's just right now in the somewhat shorter term, we're basically taking a bit of a pause from that bullish trend. And something similar can be said here on the daily time frame. Once again, as I've said over the last few weeks, we do technically have an active bearish divergence here on the daily time frame as well. But over the last few days, we are moving closer towards potentially invalidating this previous bearish divergence on the daily time frame. But in order to be more confident that we are really invalidating this bearish divergence, we ideally need to see a breakout in the RSI above this descending line of resistance. And if you're looking for other confirmation signals, then ideally if the RSI can form not only higher highs but also higher lows, as well as the price action as well, that is also another sign that we are potentially invalidating the bearish divergence. And so at least as of right now, once again, because we have not confirmed all of those invalidation signals, technically this bearish divergence is still currently active, at least in the shorter term, which means as of right now, we should not be expecting a significant amount of bullish momentum. But with that being said, even though we should not be expecting a lot of bullish momentum because of this bearish divergence, we do have a new bullish cross here in the daily Bitcoin MACD, as I've said over the last few days. And so once again, this is another sign pointing towards the fact that we are moving closer towards potentially invalidating this bearish divergence, because this is basically a sign that bullish momentum is potentially starting to return after this pullback that we've had over the last few weeks. But at least as of right now, the bullish momentum we are seeing is currently relatively weak. We're not currently seeing a lot of bullish momentum. And so this is why in the somewhat shorter term, over the last few days and over the last week or so, we have seen quite a lot of choppy sideways price action, because we do not currently have a lot of momentum. And so now staying on the daily time frame, of course, we do currently have a confirmed breakout from this descending line of resistance for the falling wedge pattern, which was sitting at around 29.3k approximately. And right now that line is currently sitting well below 29k. So basically, in order to invalidate this breakout, we really need to see a confirmed break back below around 29k approximately, which means at least for now, this breakout to the upside is currently valid, which means we do have a bullish price target to the upside at the top of the wedge at around 31,500. But with that being said, there's no strict amount of time that we need in order to hit that price target. So just because we do have a bullish price target, that does not mean the price is going there tomorrow. And instead, like I just said earlier, we do currently have a lack of momentum, at least in the shorter term. So we could take some time before potentially moving towards that price target. And also, once again, we need to invalidate that bearish divergence on the daily time frame in order to start to flip much more bullish again. And now, if you're looking looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool, we currently have some shorter term resistance still sitting at around $30,000. And as for support, we have some important support at around 28.9K to 29K approximately. And so right now, while the price of Bitcoin is in between this support and this resistance, the price is basically in a choppy sideways price range. But believe it or not, you can actually make a lot of money very easily in a sideways price range just like this. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, looking at this 8-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now we technically still have a shorter term bullish divergence here on the 8-hour time frame, which once again means we should not be expecting a lot of bearish momentum, at least in the imminent short term, and instead we're likely going to see either some choppy sideways price action, if not a slight bullish relief, like what we've seen over the last few days. But as always, it is important to understand that a bullish divergence does not necessarily invalidate a bearish trend, because right now we're technically within a shorter term bearish trend, just like how a bearish divergence does not necessarily invalidate a bullish trend, because obviously on the much larger time frames, once again, we're still within a larger bullish trend. And so heading back to that 8-hour time frame, what this bullish divergence means is essentially right now we're taking a small pause from that bearish trend in the shorter term, unless we actually see some other bullish signals like invalidating that bearish divergence on the daily time frame, because once again, if that happens, then we could start to flip much more bullish again. And now if you're zooming into the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, right now as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is currently retesting this previous descending line of resistance to potentially flip it into new support, and this line is currently sitting at around 29.3K approximately. And so technically speaking, if this holds as support now, that is technically a bullish signal anytime we flip previous resistance into new support. But obviously, if we see a confirmed break back below around 29.3K, then in that case, it's likely we could move further down towards this line of support at around 28.9K to 29K approximately. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is still holding above this important area of support after the recent bounce. And by the way, this area of support is still sitting in between around 1770 to 1820. And if you're looking at the daily Ethereum price oscillators right now, the daily Ethereum RSI is still basically chopping around sideways, looking relatively neutral, while the daily Ethereum MACD is currently showing very low momentum. So right now, basically in the imminent short term, we do not currently have a strong direction in the price of ETH, and instead we're looking relatively neutral. And now if you're looking at the 8-hour time frame, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool, once again we still have that 50% retracement level acting as support, sitting at around 1820 to 1830. And as for resistance in the shorter term, we still have this previous 38.2% Fibonacci level of resistance sitting at around 1870 to 1880 approximately. So at least for now, in the imminent short term, the price of ETH is basically in a sideways price range in between this support and this resistance, as I just said for Bitcoin. But once again, you can still make a lot of money in a sideways price range just like this, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, looking at this 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, and right now the price of ETH is actually still retesting this previous descending line of resistance, which is currently sitting at around 1840. And so once again, like I said in my last video, if the price of ETH can confirm a strong bounce from this level, and ideally confirm candle closes above this previous high to actually confirm the fact that we do have a strong bounce from this level, confirming it as new support, then in that case, that would simply further confirm the fact that we are breaking out to the upside, and we have a technical price target for this potential falling wedge pattern sitting at around 1920. But once again, it is important to understand that between now and that potential price target up towards around 1920, we also have that short-term resistance at around 1870 to 1880 that we cannot forget about. And now, if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways like it is right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from a choppy sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.